Hey guys, welcome to me reacting to Game Theory. Is this video game haunted? Petscop by the Game Theorist. Now, the last episode I reacted to it was a pretty long time ago, I think, like a couple months ago. But yeah, I really liked it. But yeah, anyways, guys, original links in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the Game Theory song. So subscription. Anyways, let's get right into it. Ooh.
Theory to Internet Game. Hello.
What?
Theory welcome Internet. Hello game. Hello
What?
to Internet welcome Theory game.
Welcome Theory.
Hello Internet game to welcome Theory.
What?
Hello Internet.
Oh.
Welcome to Game Theory.
Oh.
Where we finally finished our long Easter egg hunt.
Egg hunt. Oh. That's a cool. Not gonna lie, that's a cool logo. I'm wondering how long they had to edit that.
Since we last covered the horror Let's Play.
Exactly, that's what I was
Petscop.
talking
It's been even
about.
longer since we got ourselves a new episode. That was until this past Easter, where we got not one, not two, but 5 new uploads. Nearly a quarter of this entire series, all in one day. Let me impress upon you how unusual that is. Petscop is a creepy pasta in progress. A giant murder mystery.
Isn't it coming out as a
unfolding via
game? Like it's like a
Let's Play of
YouTube
a
video
fictional
thing.
PlayStation game that may or may not be haunted by the souls of the
It's
dead.
like a
And
it's
been
like a
telling that
YouTube
story
channel that's like getting
very,
popular. It's like
very
theories.
slowly, uploading like one video every 4 months. So to suddenly get
Ooh.
5 in a single day is unusual to say the least. Needless to say, that is a whole lot to unpack in a single
No,
episode.
yeah, and that's
even
the
if
thing.
a solid minute and a half of those uploads is dedicated
So that's
to
the thing.
just this.
I heard that aren't people developing this game to make it real?
Yep, just that. Gets slightly closer and bigger. A minute and a half! I hear people say that I pad out my...
Wait, he's going back to the
But that's
original
not.
editing.
It's also, at least in this theorist's opinion, the end of the series.
Oh, that's
I mean,
cool.
let's
He's
look
actually
at the
going
facts
back to the
here. 5
original way to
episodes
edit.
all on one day. Episode 21, the finale, airing on Easter, which is also the 21st of April, and the channel
Ooh.
description adding a final line about our long Easter egg hunt being over. Plus, you got 4 episodes filled with a lot of concrete world building, which just seems to me
Is that
like
the video?
creators
I
trying
hear,
to
like,
tie up loose
tapping.
ends and answer any remaining questions. It's all just
think that's
too
a video.
perfect. 20 episodes out the door, and then you got episode 21, which is just a climactic final dance break.
Really?
Well, as climactic as you can get when your avatar is a seasick butt. To me, if
Yeah.
you forgive me borrowing a phrase from another franchise you might be
Oh,
familiar with,
Five
the
Nights at
pieces
Freddy's?
are in place for us to solve this thing. But
Really?
damn if there aren't a lot
Thousand.
of pieces. I
Thousand
mean, in
pieces.
the aftermath of these
I haven't really
uploads,
been,
I rewatched the entire series again,
yeah,
both
I
forwards
haven't really been
and
keeping up with whatever
backwards.
Petscop
Yes,
is. In the last
backwards,
Petscop
not
video, I had
slaves
no
were
idea what it
hopeful
was
backwards,
until
and have
now.
over
But I'm
25
kinda
pages
interested
of
in it.
notes. And I'm not the
I just
only
don't
one
wanna get
here either. On the
nightmares and all
Petscop
that.
Reddit, there's a discovery document for beginners that is over 100 pages long, and that doc doesn't even include the latest 5 uploads. Eat your heart out, Scott
Oh.
Cawthon. Heck, even Marvel doesn't have lore this elaborate. But here's the thing, to my knowledge,
What?
no one has talked about what I've uncovered today, and it breaks this mystery wide open.
Really?
Sure, Petscop may have finished its long egg hunt,
You
but
know what,
that
maybe
means
I'm meant to be the
ours
next-
is
no, I'm
just
just kidding.
getting started. So fire up those PlayStations
terrible
and
joke.
tune up your Needles piano, because today we
What?
start our quest to put this series to rest by answering one of its biggest overarching questions. Is this game
Actually
actually
haunted?
haunted, or is there something else going on? The true answer lies in these 5 new episodes and in deciphering
Really?
the 200 separate save files that exist buried in the game's code.
What?
Before we begin dissecting this elaborate web of clues that the creators put into this thing, let me remind you that Petscop is an entirely free-to-watch series here on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen any of this incredibly thoughtfully constructed experience, go ahead and click over and watch them. With 21
Oh.
being the last episode,
Maybe I'll put 'em
don't
in the
expect the last
top
that we're gonna get in a
as
long
well,
while, you
even
can
though
now
I
binge
haven't
watch the entire
Petflix.
season, for lack of a better
I haven't
word.
even
It's honestly
watched it. I
hard to
might watch
summarize
it
for
and
someone who
get-
hasn't seen it. I mean, how do you explain the narrative of a time-jumping, multi-character meta-murder mystery that covers everything from Darwinian learning algorithms to Ace of Base? Well, I guess you start off with what we know and build from there. So, let me catch you up with the essentials. Throughout the series, we mostly follow Paul.
Paul?
Who found an old PlayStation game made by a man named Rayner.
Yeah, so he's
First,
explaining
the game
it.
appears to be just a crappy version of Pokemon where you collect creatures called pets by solving puzzles. And they're pretty difficult puzzles, honestly, for this being the opening stage of this supposed game. Things, though, take a dark turn after Paul enters a cheat code that he found attached to the game's cover, which leads him to the dark and spooky New Maker Plane. Throughout the first 16 uploads, we learn more and more about the mysteries of Petscop, that it's trying to tell us a story. A story of Mike Hammond, who died as a child, a story of Care, a girl who was kidnapped and trapped in a school building for 5 months by her father,
What the heck?
the story of Care's father, Marvin, who, in addition to being a kidnapper and serial abuser, also appreciates the finer things in life,
Cinnamon
like
Toast
windmills,
Crunch.
pianos, and well-groomed eyebrows. He also might have, most definitely have killed his childhood friend back in 1977. But what exactly happened to these three, and how Paul fits into it, is the mystery that we've been trying to solve since my first theory on the topic. But this series of convoluted riddles starts to break open with the help of the sound test menu. You see, sound tests are where developers have been hiding some of their coolest and most nightmare-fueled secrets for years. You think that the new Sonic design for this looks disturbing? Ha! Then you have never seen the secret hidden in Sonic CD's sound test. Ugh. The Japanese that you see on screen translates to infinite fun. Sega, what were you taking? Anyway, Rayner apparently had a similar idea when he was programming Petscop, hiding a secret back-end menu through a similar sound test code. In Petscop 17, we see how it's unlocked. By selecting the sound effect of Care saying bye-bye, bye-bye, 366 times, followed by an uh-oh, we get access to all sorts of new information about this game. First, character design histories, where we spend a lot of quality time with that house. 90 whole seconds of house. But it's not all wasted time. We also learn that Buttface here has a name, Guardian, and that the big bird Tonith started his design in the game without his signature broken leg. Very interesting. Second is the all recordings submenu, which allows us to see the 200 plus recordings that have been made within the game. We're gonna come back to that one in a minute, because as you can imagine, there is a lot there. For now, let's start where the video starts and explore Room Impulse, where we get one of our first big theory confirmations in the series. Last episode, I covered Petscop's recurring theme of rotation.
Oh yeah, the rotation.
Now, it seems like the game is able to be loaded into different rotations to get different results, as evidenced by the rotating developer logo Garalina, as well as this long sequence of rotated pictures of a CD. And sure enough, Room Impulse confirms exactly this.
Really?
As we see the dial in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen flip through dozens of different saves, each one highlighting the various guardians and the path of their movement throughout the house. With each and every click of the dial, we see a new iteration of playing the game. Put a point in the theorist.
Wow, they actually got it.
Watching this sequence, you immediately see that some of the playthroughs are terrible. Like this guy, who just stands behind the TV the entire time. Or this one who just keeps walking into the wall. The movements seem completely random. It's like these people have never even played a video game before. And that's because A, they haven't, and B, they're not even people. What we're seeing here inside the house is a guided learning algorithm. Basically, it's an AI that's training itself. Now, that sounds like a mouthful and seems so far removed from what we're actually watching here, so let me break it down. An algorithm is a mathematical process used to solve a problem. A learning algorithm is a process that improves itself over time, and a guided algorithm has humans to use as a model. So let's take YouTube as an example. You've heard me ramble forever on this channel about the YouTube algorithm and how it guides how the platform operates. Well, in the earliest days on the platform, this was entirely true. Mathematical formulas decided what was good content and what was bad content. The math made the decisions. But as
Oh,
time
really?
has gone on, it's gotten a lot more sophisticated. It has learned and improved itself. Well, improved is a relative term, but you know, it's grown and it's matured. It's
True.
also a guided system. It takes input from people, say the way you navigate through the site, what you watch versus what you don't watch, the way manual content.
Come on, Minecraft episodes.
Content is mature or not, or clickbait or not, or demonetize it or not, whatever, and then it uses that information to shape the way the algorithm behaves, producing a guided learning system that more accurately demonetizes your videos generation after generation. And I'm not using that word lightly, not a demonetization. Generation is the word I'm talking about. When programmers talk about teaching AI, they speak about it using the language of evolution, with terms like natural selection and generation.
Oh, yeah.
An incredible example, and honestly one of my favorite channels on YouTube right now, check out the channel Code Bullet, where he talks about the process of teaching AI to play video games like Flappy Bird or the world's hardest game, all using genetic algorithms. Each generation has hundreds of players unleashed onto the board. The one that performs the best is selected and allowed to reproduce, and over time this gets more and more refined until you finally have one that's able to get the desired outcome, in this case, beating a level. And again, listen to the way that he speaks about this process.
So each generation contains 700 players.
There's that word again.
Generation.
And what do we have on the Room Impulse screen? A generation selector. For the scene that we're watching in Petscop 17, getting through the front door is the desired behavior for this round of AI. That is the selection mechanism. And then what do we see once we're outside the house? 5 of the subjects from Generation 10 escape. Hop on over to the All Recordings menu, and what do we see over there? Again, 5 save files from Generation 10. The game is being used to train an AI for something. But what? We know that Petscop describes
so it's an AI and not an actual. It's not haunted. It's just an AI.
Back as recordings. We saw this back in Petscop 13. Quote, your controller inputs will be useful, but your feedback will be more useful. And looking back through the All Recordings menu, you can see that in the earliest days of the game, it appears that Rainer got about 42 or so test players to feed the game with information about how real children behave, how they would play in this game world. But this concept of genetic algorithms looks like it started to take over around the time of Marvin's playthrough of the game. You notice a sudden surge in the number of auto-generated save files as the algorithms cycle through hundreds of iterations of play. Marvin's playthrough, though, also coincides with the disappearance of Care, around the days that she was kidnapped. Notice Rainer's text box in episode 20. Hi Marvin, Rainer here. I'm writing this on July 10th, 1997. And Care is still missing. But also notice that it's an auto-saved file set on a different generation than the playthrough that we were just watching Marvin play through, indicating that this person on screen actually isn't Marvin anymore. Instead, it's an AI recreation of Marvin's playthrough. Look at how Rainer speaks in his text box. This model of a brick building should be familiar to you. Where is this building? Either Marvin has himself amnesia, or Rainer is trying to train the AI using important objects from Marvin's memory. And that brick building isn't the only one he uses.
Oh, this is creeping me out. Oh my god.
Important places from Marvin's past. His house, the school building where he kept kids imprisoned, the windmill from his first crime. We also see the AI getting exposed to what Rainer calls caskets, all the censored items from the previous installments in the series, each one relating to Marvin's relationship with Care. Things like a vase and a piece of Marvin's bedroom. It's like training a dog to smell drugs, or a pig to smell truffles. These objects are all giving the AI the scent of Marvin. More information about who he is and how he behaves, all in an effort to get the AI to recreate the way he thinks. And it's not as far-fetched as it might first seem. Companies like Dead Social actively try to keep your social media presence alive long after you aren't. While Dead Social is about to give up its secret sauce, the way most language algorithms work is somewhat similar. All your prior tweets, your Facebook posts, any other digital communications you have are all put into a database and categorized. An algorithm will then create a model for the way that you speak, taking into factor things like what you do and don't react to, what kinds of words you most commonly use, the order you use your words, even your correct or incorrect use of grammar. The computer will generate thousands of potential models and test them all against the set of known data called the training data to see which of their models most reproduces the training data set. And with that, you can rage about whatever is happening on Twitter long after you're alive to actually do so.
So you
why
could
would Raynor
die,
try something like
and
this?
the
Well, let's
AI
look at
will
what he
make it
asks
seem
the
like you're
AI to do.
alive?
Quote, "From here, I want you to find a grave. It's unmarked,
What?
of course. That's the trouble. You're the only person
That's
who can find
weird.
it." Now,
That's
think about this.
creepy.
Marvin
That is
is a
very
serial
creepy,
kidnapper,
by the way.
abuser, and potential murderer.
That's
A girl went missing
creepy.
with him decades ago. Mike
Oh,
may
that's
have been one of
very
his victims,
creepy.
or
Oh my
at least he
God.
suspects it, and suddenly Care winds up missing. It's suddenly a race against time to find her before it's too late. Now, Marvin would never give up the location of his crimes, but an AI thinking like him would. Or would give up the evidence needed to convict him. In a way, Marvin is being reborn in the game through this genetic algorithm. So Petscop, for all its paranormal clues, may not actually be haunted at all. In fact, it appears to be something much more
it's not
technical.
haunted,
The
it's an
first algorithm
AI?
to accurately predict and replicate human behavior. Raynor, in an attempt to save Care and convict a killer, used the game to recreate Marvin. But it seems like Raynor wasn't just content to use it for Marvin. As we see with the generations coming out of the house, he also uses it to recreate Care in an attempt to figure out what happened to her on the day that she was missing between her escape from Marvin's school and her return home. It even ties back in with the mysterious character of Tiara. Raynor thought the iterations of Belle were succeeding in recreating Tiara based on this dialogue box.
Is that why you can
12,
do
quote,
reincarnation and all that stuff?
before and started calling you Tiara prematurely. You see it actually happen in the save files. He thought it was working. It starts with Belle, and then we suddenly go through a lot of auto-generated save files until finally we get to Tiara, but then... whew, gotta censor that one. Things apparently took a very, very bad turn there. So what's going on?
It actually didn't
Deal
get
with all these
censored
clues?
after
Where
you
does
zoomed in
Hope
on
fit
it.
into all this? What happened to the Windmill Girl, and how does this crazy family all fit together? That, my friends, is for the next generation.
How long? When's that gonna be out? So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And you guys will see you in the next one. Bye!